All right, today we're going to dive into something pretty incredible, an ancient Buddhist scripture that lays out a very specific mental practice. Now, this isn't just a story. Think of it more like a detailed blueprint for visualizing a being made of pure light and just immense, incredible power. It's not about just daydreaming something beautiful. It's a structured exercise, a contemplation designed to totally transform your mind.
So let's start with this quote, because it's our gateway, and it immediately sets a completely mind-bending scale. Just think about that. The light from a single pore holds the light of infinite Buddhas. That's a cosmic idea that just completely challenges how we normally think about space and reality. So, to even begin to wrap our heads around that, we first need to ask, who are we talking about here? The being at the center of this whole contemplation is known as Mahāsthāmaprāpta. And yeah, I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, but as we're about to see, that name isn't just a label, it's basically his job description, a direct summary of his essence and his unbelievable power.
So who is he, really? In Buddhist tradition, a bodhisattva is an enlightened being who makes this profound choice to stick around in the cycle of rebirth, all to help every other being find their own way to enlightenment. And Mahāsthāmaprāpta specifically, he embodies the power of wisdom. But we're not talking about passive, book-smart wisdom. This is wisdom as an active, cosmic force.
And his power really comes into focus through his two main titles. On one hand, he's called Boundless Light, which makes sense, right? Like that first quote said, his light contains and reveals all other Buddhas. But then he's also called Great Strength, because his wisdom is a force so powerful it can literally smash the chains of suffering. So you've got light and revelation, and you've got strength and power. Two sides of the same incredible coin.
So, how do you translate these huge concepts, light and strength, into something you can actually visualize? Well, the scripture gives us this amazingly detailed portrait, and the key thing to remember here is that every single piece of it is symbolic and made of pure, unadulterated light.
The foundation of his whole form is this radiant, purple-gold light. But the text adds this really fascinating little detail. The light is only visible to people who have a connection with him. It's almost like you have to be tuned to the right spiritual frequency just to be able to perceive him.
And the scale of this light is just staggering. The text measures his aura in yojanas, which is an ancient unit of measurement, but each one is roughly several miles long. So we're talking about a radiant presence that's hundreds of miles across. This is not a person-sized glow, folks. This is an astronomical event. But as absolutely immense as his aura is, the most complex and mind-blowing detail is found right on his head. This is where you get that idea of seeing the universe in a grain of sand, but it's cranked up to a cosmic level. His crown isn't just an ornament, it's a vessel that contains entire universes.
Okay, let's just walk through this, because the scale is almost impossible to imagine. On the crown itself, there are 500 jeweled lotuses, fine. But then on each of those lotuses, there are 500 jeweled platforms. And on each of those platforms, you can actually see the pure lands, the enlightened realms of all the Buddhas. It's like a fractal, a Russian nesting doll of infinite worlds, all just sitting there, perfectly balanced on his head.
And as if that weren't enough, there's also a jeweled vase. You can think of this as an amplifier for his whole boundless light function. It's filled with this special light that shines out and illuminates, as the text says, all the works of the Buddhas, basically revealing all the good, enlightened things happening across the entire cosmos at once.
So we've got this incredible static image, right? But the scripture doesn't just leave it there. It then goes on to describe what happens when this being of pure light actually moves. And let me tell you, his very presence has dynamic, cosmic consequences. Just look at this contrast. When he simply walks, the entire universe shakes, and 500 times billion jeweled flowers literally spring into existence wherever the ground moves. But when he sits, the effect is totally different, much more focused. The Pure Land itself shakes, and it acts like a cosmic dinner bell, calling a massive assembly. So his movement creates beauty, but his stillness, that creates a classroom.
And what is this big assembly all about? Well, the moment he sits, the sky fills with countless emanations of other enlightened beings, all on their own lotus thrones. And they're not just there to look good, they're all there for one powerful purpose: to teach the Dharma, the universal truth of how reality works, all to help liberate beings from suffering. His stillness kicks off a universal teaching event.
So here's the crucial point. Why all this incredible detail? Why describe the light, the crown of worlds, the cosmic movements? Because this isn't just some amazing mythology. It's a precise, step-by-step instruction manual for a specific mental practice.
This entire process, visualizing Mahāsthāmaprāpta in exactly this way, with every single one of these intricate details, that is the 11th Contemplation. It's part of a very famous and foundational series of Buddhist meditations, all designed to guide you straight to enlightenment.
And the scripture is really clear on this point. It says that following these steps exactly is the correct contemplation. Any other way you might try to visualize him is basically incomplete. It's a powerful idea, isn't it? In this practice, the details aren't just decoration. The details are the path. So why would anyone go through such a complex mental workout? Well, the text promises some profound, absolutely life-altering results. If you successfully complete this visualization, it's said to eliminate immeasurable amounts of karmic debt, the heavy baggage from past actions. It effectively frees you from the physical cycle of rebirth and grants your consciousness a free pass to travel through all those pure, enlightened realms.
So this is what we're left with, a practice that asks us to build, right here in our mind's eye, a being of infinite light who holds infinite worlds. And, whether you see this as a path to spiritual freedom or as a jaw-dropping testament to our own psychological potential, it really does raise a fascinating question for us today. What can these ancient, intricate maps of the inner world teach us about the true, untapped power of our own minds?